overwhelmed.
Okay, don't worry. It's all good to be an overwhelm. It's a start, and it's just you feel overwhelmed when you don't know stuff, right? So
yes. Yeah, I'm okay with the overwhelm, but that's how I feel. I'm like, oh my God, last week I'm all excited, and this week I'm like, oh my gosh.
Shit.
Yeah.
That one.
So it's okay. It's the learning process.
That's okay. We'll cover that today, so don't panic on that. All right. Ray, why are you sitting at a 6? What's up with you? You're muted, Ray, so I can't hear you. I'm not such a great lip reader. So
okay. I wasn't speaking Portuguese. It's okay.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I haven't got nearly enough done, nearly as much, well, far from what I wanted to get done, achieved. Yeah, too many things have got in the way, clients and things like that.
Okay, so that's definitely a steel issue. Tracy, what was your profile again?
I'm a creator.
Creator.
And so, I've got 0 steel.
Okay. All right. So Ray is a steel issue because there's too many tasks coming through, right? And not enough hours in the day. A creator issue is just a little overwhelmed because the structure, because you have no steel. So now we're giving you structure and you're going, oh my God, Michelle, what does that actually mean? Okay. So I think the rest of you, because your scores are relatively high, I'm going to not go there. But I think one thing it's always good to check in, and I just want to start today with one component. How many of you done the Ikigai before? 3, 4 ish. All right. No. Thanks, Heidi. All right. So I want to quickly cover this because this is something that I think you guys can do as a daily check-in on yourself. You can do it more regularly. This is also good for any of you who coaches, trainers, to check in with your clients, that kind of thing. I think it's an important part to just do this today, to just set the tone, right? Because one of the components is there's a lot going on in many facets of all of your work, but it's around how you're linking into your purpose. What are you thinking? How are you doing the things that you're setting for the week that you're trying to do, that it ties in with your bigger purpose. So then potentially it's not a high priority if you're in one space, right? So Tracy, this will potentially help keep that grounding in that space. So let me share my screen. Rosalind will share this, obviously, in the usual spaces of your circle. But really, the Ikigai is your reason for being, yeah? And what it does, it ties in what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, what you're good at, and it ties in with all of these things, your passion, your mission, your vocation, your profession. They all overlap, and in the middle is right here, you can see this is your reason for being, yeah? So what you want to be doing is, it's your sense of purpose and how motivated you're actually feeling, right? So you can go and read a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of examples on it. We're going to be driving a new assessment one of these days, so that it'll be easy for you to just check it in on Genius U. But here, these are the main questions. Now, I would like you guys to drop it in the chat because it's good for you to interact. If you feel too uncomfortable, you also don't have to do that. But if we start with these 4 big questions, right? My talent. What am I doing something that I'm good at right this minute, right? Like if I go, am I doing something that I'm good at? And I score myself between 1 and 10. What would that score be? Is it a 2? Is it a 5? Is it an 8? It doesn't matter. There's no judgment in the score. This is your own personal barometer, right? So drop your score into the chat. The second component to that is, this is a note that you can make for yourself wherever you're storing your notes, is if at whatever the number is, what would I need to do personally to make it a 10? So, okay, right. So let me go back here. No, yes. Okay. So Jean-Francois, you're a 10. Great. Stuart is 7, Justin 9, Julia 8. Yara, you need to choose 8 or 9. Just one number is fine. You can be a 9 tomorrow, but be an 8 today or something. Just make a choice. Heidi is a 5. Ray is 9. Tracy 7. Flora 7. Karen is 10. Emma 2. Eek. This needs some work here. Samir 6. Mito 6. monetize it. Laura, 7. Okay. Delegate, be more patient. Okay. So do you see where the concept is here? So Emma, in your case, are you here? Are you on screen? I don't see your face. Let me see it. Oh, there you are. Okay. So
I'm here.
hi. Are you wanting to share why yours is a little bit low at this moment in time?
Yeah, easily. So I've got to try and make this quick. I moved from the UK to Canada during COVID. It took a long time to get my work permit here. I'm now here and able to work, but we're in temporary living situation where I'm very isolated. I love being around people. I haven't been able to set my business up, so I haven't started my business yet. I'm very isolated. I'm spending very little time around people. And as a supporter, I love a good chat. So I know that's kind of why.
A few moments of chat now, right?
Yeah, woohoo, yeah. But yeah, that's why I'm really keen to get this up and started. What I do best is working with people. And that's why because what's happening is I just end up overthinking, procrastinating, it's not helping me. I need to get in front of people to start moving this forward.
Okay, so the question I'm going to ask you today, and you don't have to answer that one, but make a note of, even though you're in really circumstances that are not being conducive to having a support structure around this at the moment, what are 3 things that you could do this week to make your score move up a little bit? Yeah, just 3 things, not 500, not like a ton, just 3 things. Like, for example, maybe get on a group call with someone, or take I don't know, maybe go and research if there's any places that you can meet some people at, right? Potentially connecting with the city leaders and so Yulia's on this call. Yulia, you here? Yes, I think she is.
Yes, I am. I already sent her a message saying hi. I already sent her a message saying to reach out to me because I'm in
she's in Toronto, and so she's a star profile. So there you go, right? Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
There are solutions to these things. So each one of you, wherever you are and you're doing these things, this is why these group calls are so important, because you might just learn something and connect with somebody amazing, right? So Emma, your first thing on your list is to connect with Yulia and see how you guys can actually do something. Maybe you're not in the same town, whatever, but that you can have a chat. Yes? Perfect. Do you see where I'm getting with it? Amazing.
Yes.
Great. Okay, next one is your passion. Are you doing what you love to do right this moment? So Emma, you're probably going to be a low, right? Which is okay. But then what could I do to make it a 10? So everybody drop that in. Are you doing what you love today? Okay, I don't know where I'm at. Passion. Karen's a 10. Karen's like, you're scoring 10s on everything, right? There's no room for any improvement. What are we up with? Where are you? Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I've had a very good day.
That's amazing.
In summary. It's been
so
good
can I ask
all
a question? How did the day start with the scoring? Was it still a 10 when you started?
No, the day started well with the score. And it just got better. So I could go 10 plus maybe. I've had a good day, very good day.
That's amazing. So guys, this is the point, right? You want to get to the end of your day, like where Karen's going or where Jean-Francois going, where they're saying they're 10s, right? I've had a good day. They being all of that, they've got this moment. But whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's a 4, it doesn't matter if it's a 5. What are the points that you're going to put in today? 3 things that you can do for the rest of the week to make that go up slightly, right?
And it's not because it's a 10 today that it can't get even better tomorrow.
Absolutely, right? For sure. It's always about the outside of no, but definitely, Jean-Francois, some days it's a 10, but some days you wake up and it's not a 10, but what do you need to do, right? This is not something you have to do every day, but it's a good barometer, yeah? And when you guys are sitting at a 10, I think for me, it's around the gratitude that you are at a 10, right? Because we know how we all get to, and we know that there's ups and downs in our lives, right? Okay, cool. Okay, mission, purpose. Are you doing something that the world needs? Now, this question is interesting because this is not necessarily only you and what you're doing right now. Like for me, am I doing something, I'm serving my purpose through someone else, right? So I'm working through an organization. Am I serving my purpose through somebody else, right? Yes, I am. And what is my score? What would make it a 10? So Are you doing something that the world needs to have happen right this moment? And I pretty think all of you guys are doing something that should be, that the world does need, right? But are you doing it? I'm not sure. So maybe you're serving your purpose through someone else, like Rosaline and myself. We're serving our purpose through the Genius Group today by being on this call, right? Make sense? Drop your scores in and let's have a look. Okay. Samir's score is a really small 7. Bridget, hi. Where are you? We're at 2. Where are we? I can't even see your face. Why can't I see your face? You're somewhere here, I'm sure. There you are. Hi.
So this is for something that the world needs, right?
Well, I don't know. Like when you hit your purpose, like if I was to say to you, why do you wake up every day? Why are you here? Why do you wake up every day?
Okay, but then I scored a 7. You know, I'm doing what I like, but it's definitely not what the world needs.
Are you sure?
Well, I manage a private house, so definitely no, the world doesn't need this.
Okay, so if you were to change that, what would make it that you could do something the world needed and get a 10 or move it up the scale, right? That's the thought process.
Okay.
So maybe right this moment, you're not doing something the world needs. Do you want to? The question is, firstly, do you want to do something that the world needs? Is it something that you
do something that a bigger group of people need?
Okay, so what would you need to do to get that in place? What is a small thing that you could do that could move you towards that?
Leadership coaching.
Okay, for yourself or for others?
For others.
Okay, so what do you need to do to put that in place?
Learn this stuff.
Okay, so potentially today you've learned this thing, right? Which means that you've gone from a 2 to maybe a 3. Do you see where I'm going? But it's about, okay, right now I'm doing this, but I'm not actually doing what I want to do every day, but I want to get there. So what are the steps that I need to do? Because sometimes, guys, we've got to put bread on the table. We've got to do things, blah, 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 fish paste, right? We got to do things to do things. But where do we want to get to? So Bridget, that's what I'm getting at. Like, where do you want to get to? So think about it and think about what are these things that would make me get to even a 5 from a 2. Learn some things, add some extra knowledge in, apply some of the things, read a new book, etc., etc. Yeah, something like that. Make sense? Fantastic. Tracy, we're a 5. Yeah. So what would you need to do to switch that up a bit?
I'd need to probably delegate a little bit more. I've got clients who want stuff from me that's probably not within my mission. Okay. And I need to actually do what we're doing in this course to actually get myself out there and actually get more clients, because a lot of my clients come through word of mouth and they're a small group, and I need to widen that.
Okay, that's okay. But this is the point, right? This is why you're here today. And this is the things that you're doing. So you're on a pathway to do something about it. I think it's also about the pressure that we put on ourselves, right? So careful that you're not putting too much on to create the crisis mode, yeah? Because you change the energy frequency. Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's hit the last one. What can you be paid for in your business? What are you being paid for right now? Are you even being paid? If it's a 0, then it's a 0, right? If it's a 10, 5, whatever it is, put that score in. And if you're not being paid for it, what can you do to get some money in for it in the next couple of weeks, right? So potentially, Yulia and Emma, we need to connect up and actually run an event, right? Where we drive some things. Clara, potentially, what do we need to do in Portugal so you can start earning from some of the things? Samir, what are you doing in your program that you can start getting people to pay you? Yeah, Ober King, how do we drive more money through, right? I know I still owe you an answer on the city leader thing. I'm sorry, I literally, it was smashed on email, so I will still get there. But the point is what can you do in the next few weeks to drive some cash to this that you want to be doing? So think about those thoughts. Okay. Last but not least, this is an example. You can see, now this is a very creative example. So Tracy, this might help if you get into very much your high creative space and you draw your ikigai and you actually, this is Simon Sinek's one, and he actually drew it out and put the creativity behind it. And sometimes when you guys are high dynamo, it's a good idea to to actually go and take a pen and paper and some colors and start playing. Yes. And draw these things out because it will help to settle the brain. Yeah.
I love it.
I know, I love it too. There's just so many colors and blocks, I could get lost in it. But anyway, the point is that it doesn't matter where you are. What is that thing? We've sometimes got a little bit less human because everything is tech nowadays. Get a crayon, get a pen, be creative. Even if you guys are tech wizards, sometimes get off the tech and actually take a walk outside and actually see what you can do differently. Yeah. For me, everything on your Ikigai ties together with your gratitude. Right? So tie it to your gratitude in the beginning of your day, you end your day, be grateful for the things, because if you're not tying it to your gratitude, we've got challenges. Yeah. So when you take the 4 scores and you add it up, what do you get out of 40? Drop your total score in. And Stuart, business, 0, understand. Okay. 45, 30, 35. Excellent. Emma's a 9. We know why we are a 9, but we're going to get there, right? Bum, bum. Great. So now you guys have a barometer of where you're at. Yes. So Heidi, yours is quite low on the overall, right? So I'm going to ask you one last question here, because you're, I think, out of all of them, Stuart's the second, Emma's the lowest. We've already had a chat around that, but pretty low, Heidi. So what are some of the things that you'd want to try and implement in the next week to make some changes?
I think the challenge I'm going through lots of disconnecting and just trying to reconnect. And the person I need to reconnect with is taking the time. So I've done a 360 view, I've done all that stuff. So it's all come back positive. It's just that, I want to get going with some of the stuff that's with the Genius U. And that seems to, so I'm having a great interview and for my flow consultant, so the lady who I actually did with is actually very positive and excited. I think potentially it will roll out, but at the moment, still really low energy, lots of stuff. So nothing, a lot of stuff is not happening that way it should, like it used to. So yeah, so very kind of all over the show at the moment. So very frustrated.
Okay. So what do you need to do to calm the frustration and just have 3 things that you want to focus on this week?
So I think so I've actually, I don't know.
You don't have to answer today, but I want you to seriously think about this, because your frustration gets into a cycle of damned if I do, damned if I don't. And now I'm going like this, right? So what we want to be doing is I know it's freezing cold where you are, right? But you want to try and find a way. Yeah, no electricity. You've got all these things that are like hampering the overall well-being, right? Which means that you're kind of sitting in a space where it's like, excuse the language, damn it, what the hell, right? So potentially there's something in there. Maybe you'll get some inspiration out of the call today, but I want you to go back and ground yourself, whatever it takes to ground you into a space, because the more you're trying to drive and push stuff, the more you're chasing it away. Okay, so calm down to a panic, go and ground yourself, and then make like 3 things. What do I actually want to get done this week? And I think that applies to everybody out of this every week. It's what 3 things do I want to do stuff, right? Set up my offer, or make sure that I'm actually starting to invite people. I don't know anything about marketing. Oh my God. Okay, but what have I done? What have I learned? What have I applied? And I think that's where we're at today. So we're going to start the learning component. But this Ikigai exercise, guys, was it helpful to get you to review where you're at? Right. So this you can use for yourself at any point, right? You can do it at any time. I would recommend every week is like enough, right? You don't have to do it every day. Yeah, but it's up to you. Okay, so we had some homework and we watched the video on how to monitor your numbers and stuff like that, right? And this is what got Tracy freaking out at me before she even started. Yes? No? Maybe? Okay. So remember, this is an interactive call, people. I'm not here to just be speaking the whole time. So thumbs up, thumbs down, shout, don't shout, whatever it takes. Okay, yes. So the point here, right? The reason this is important. Okay, so who has completed this? Anyone? Be brave, don't be scared. Yell at me, because I'm going to pick someone, you know this. We have a $50 here.
Michelle, mine seems to be read only, and I did reply to that, so I haven't been able to do anything with it.
Okay, Rosalind, can you check that, please? Okay, Justin, you've got your hand up, I think. Yes, you put your hand up, then you put your hand down. Yes, have you done yours?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, well, let's go to that and let's use you as an example. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so the point is that as we're looking at this here, so Stuart, I think you missed last week, so maybe potentially go through the video. I don't know if you've managed to do that, but
yeah, I watched last time.
Okay, cool. So the point over here, guys, is whenever you're starting any kind of business, there's got to be some kind of a goal of what I'm trying to achieve weekly, right? So Tracy, you don't have to go as complicated as this. The point is like we set out our targets and we set what our revenue goal was for the quarter, which meant that, okay, we're learning in the first 2 weeks, so we might not have some revenue coming in from this particular project in the next 2 weeks, but we will have. So if it's 100 grand, how do I divide it up? Remember, we did that last week, right? We said, this is my goal. Now, most of you guys might not even measure this, right? So Tracy, when you get a client, right, how many clients do you need to speak to before somebody buys something from you? Now, because you've got referrals, it's probably an 80-90% conversion, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So when you get cold leads, what do you think your conversions would be?
I don't know. I'm going to go off whatever numbers that are normal because I have no idea. Because it's always been word of mouth for me. So this is all new. So I mean, I'm going to assume, I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, that's okay. It's really okay not to know this, right? This is the biggest challenge that you guys have, right? It's most of you guys don't measure this. You don't measure it at all. So when you take a look at here, I've got some numbers. Justin, you changed these a bit, right? The conversions. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So when you go into the beginning here and yours is blank, so if you haven't completed it, I put my stats in here because we're a big business. We know how many people you need to speak to do this. But in an overall, for every 5 cold leads that you speak to, every 5 people that you actually get in front of you having a conversation, 2 will say yes, 2 will say no, and 1 is a maybe. They like your face or they don't like your face. That's how you can start, right? So if you don't have a base to work on, that's a base. So Tracy, this is a base. Now, generally, for every 10 people that actually have an appointment for you, right? 10 people that actually book into your diary, 4 will say yes, 4 will say no, 2 are going to be maybes. Easy, right? You just duplicate that out. But in order to get 10 people into your diaries, generally cold stats is 1 in 10. So for every 100 people you've got cold, right? You're going to have 10 people that are going to actually say, yes, they want to have time with you. Now, these 10 people, out of those, I know that I'm going to get 4. Do you see how the stats work?
Yeah.
Okay, so this applies for all of you who don't have a stat. Those of you that do have a stat, this is what, Justin, you've got a stat, right? So you know that if you speak to 1 person or you speak to 4 people, you're going to close 1. Is this correct?
Yeah, it depends, because for cold leads, which I haven't ever really done too much of because it's mostly see people that I know or, see passed on. So that's a really high close rate. But with cold leads, I've found it's like, I'd say probably 40%,
It's okay. So I think the point being here is that what I want you guys to start doing is as you're making appointments or you're starting to speak to people, you're doing that kind of thing, start monitoring your own conversions in the space, whether it's a referral or if it's somebody that just came from somebody or it's a cold lead, where it's coming from, start monitoring this. Okay, this was a cold lead. Guys, you can do it on an Excel spreadsheet like this, but you can also make it a little bit more in your CRM, should be able to do it. You've got funnel systems, HubSpot does it, Zoho does it. Most CRMs actually monitor if you have your leads pathway in, it tells you what your conversions are and you don't have to do the maths behind it, right? But let's work with this. Right, so when we work on what's your average revenue per customer, right? What this means is that I've got 10 customers in this month and 10 of them are each spending $1,000. The average of that is $1,000, right? So Justin, you're saying to me your average revenue per person that comes in is 4,000, yeah? Correct?
Yep.
Yep, sorry, I didn't hear. Okay, so now, if we want to be generating 50 grand, we need to do 5 grand a week, right? Pretty much from here, yeah? So you can see you need to make 4 appointments in your diary here, actually have calls to get one person saying yes. I would make this a little bit, I'll tell you why. I'm going to jump over your number here. You can go and play with it. But what I would actually do is I would potentially adjust your stats here so that you have a 5 here and you have 2 here. Because if you have 5 people, 2 people are going to say yes. That gives you a better ratio, which means that you're more likely to earn higher revenue on that because your closed ratio is probably higher. The closing, because it's a referral, is higher. But you still have to have the numbers to make the calls to get the closes. Yeah, makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So play around with your numbers a little bit, because I think it could be a slightly different ratio over here. And I would say your goal per week is to close 2 clients. And I would be saying that your goal per week would be to speak to at least 5, have 5 appointments. You see what I mean? And here, this means that you would want to have at least 10 people making appointments with you because only 5 are going to show up, which means only 2 are going to actually do something.
Okay.
And then this just builds backwards. Now, these numbers here, guys, you're starting off, right? You're building a new community. So you're still going to have to supplement a little bit. So Tracy, there's going to be different routes to market. And Justin, as you're building your programs out, because you're bringing in colder leads, right? But you still, your first program, how many people do you want to have in? So now Justin over here, you're saying you want 13 clients. 13 clients out of the base that you currently have, you can probably phone 30 people and you'll get 13 clients saying yes anyway, without having to advertise. So don't put so much pressure on that you have to bring brand new people. This is also your stats, so you can build a funnel and a pathway, because this kind of path takes a bit of time. It's not always so quick, right? It's not always very quick that somebody says, oh, I followed you on Facebook. Oh, yes, I want something. Oh, let me make an appointment. Oh, great. I'll show up for the appointment. And oh, man, then I'm going to spend cash. You see what I'm saying? The process is a little bit longer. So what you want to do is you want to say, okay, I basically want, by the end of this program, 13 new clients. That's what you're telling me. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I want 13 new clients, I would potentially want to speak to at least, I would make a list for all of you guys, a minimum of 100 people. 100 people that you know that can refer you to someone else anyway while we're building out your pathways.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of my questions, was like, in terms of just like having these conversations, because that's kind of what I've always done is, just like, talk to people and say, I have this program that I'm launching, I'd like to know who that, this might speak to, so is that kind of, in terms of having conversations, is that the best, like, focus right now?
So your best focus is where you're going to get revenue from, right? In building out pathways, you're going to have there's going to be a longer tail to this, right? Now, if you want to get 13 clients saying yes to you, the easiest way right this moment, right, is to actually have a list and to get referrals in your case, because you don't need 100 clients. You're not asking me for 100 clients.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want 100 clients right now.
You can't cope with 100 clients, exactly, right? Yeah. So if you're looking for 100 clients, okay, great, yeah, but you're not. You're only looking for 13. So while you're building out, because this is an experience, they're going to land into Facebook or wherever your place is where they're hanging out. Then they're going to actually start getting engaged and start following you. I know that our customers have to do 3 things with us before they actually even book a call to have a conversation. Out of the calls that are booked, only 50% show up. Do you see that? And then once they get on a call, yes, we've got about a 70% close ratio. But this is why you need to start monitoring this. What do you have to do intervention-wise so that you're building a pathway? Because you're going to say eventually, I'm so sorry, Michelle, so great, but this is another step you can do because I'm full for the cohort for this month.
Yeah.
But then what's the experience that they're wanting to have happen? So Tracy, how many people do you want on your course? Clara, I'll get to you now. Yeah.
I'd like to have 10 people.
Right. So to get 10
in this
people,
quarter.
Yeah. To get 10 people, you probably need to book 50 appointments max. Max.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Do you see it's not this is not supposed to freak you guys out. This is supposed to help you to start monitoring what you're doing in your business. Because you guys aren't monitoring it. So nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows how amazing you are, Tracy. So if you want to make another Tracy, no one knows what your conversions are. Justin, you want to scale. Nobody knows where you want to scale to.
Yeah.
Clara, do you have a question?
Okay. So, oops. Yeah, I am muting myself. So I was all pumped up when I did my in the Flow Consultant call, and I said, okay, we're going to book a call, still in a call now, so a little event to test the waters, still in July. And the friend I did it to said, are you crazy? 2 weeks is not enough. There's no way you can organize that. Okay, so beginning of August, August is going to be in Portugal, pretty much shuts down. Yeah. So what am I've been trying to shift my thoughts so that I don't get depressed, and I'm measuring my results in terms of how much I'm getting ready for September, because I'm learning to sort of come to terms with the fact that nothing's going to happen in August.
Okay, I'm going to stop there for a moment, right? Number one, you're taking advice from somebody who's not got any kind of interest in your current business right now, right? Just throwing it at you, because the challenge you guys have got is that you listen to people who've got no financial vested interest in your success necessarily. I'm going to just put it in there as a little pocket, yeah? Which means, Clara, that she's saying, oh, no, don't do it. It's not enough time. This is what's happened here. This can't work because of that. This is somebody who's coming up with all the negative things that can't work, right? Nowhere in that sense, like when I said to you, let's do something, I used to run workshops regardless of summer, and people used to come. But again, you could do a smaller workshop. You could do it. We set up events in 2 weeks and we get people coming. So you generally need 4 to 6 weeks if you're running a big event where you're looking for thousands of 2,000 of 3,000 people. But how many people do you want at this little workshop? How many did you want to invite?
I wanted 20 people. I wanted to invite 100 to get 20.
Okay.
So it's not little, okay?
So, it's not little, but it's still, I don't see why you can't do it in a 2-week cycle. You could do it for the 1st of August and say, I'm launching on the 1st of August, which is a Tuesday or something. Do you see what I'm saying? You've got 2 weeks. You could do it. Just because one person says no, I'm not certain that's the right way to go about it. All I'm saying to you is, if it's something that you feel you can do and you feel positive about it, then you need to change the framework that you're in. Because yes, Portugal's not easy, 100%. But we also know that we've got Mito there, we've got Annette, we've got Ricardo, we've got some other people, we've got Suraj who wants to do some stuff, we've got some data there. What can we do together that we can actually put a little welcome event together for you guys? Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yes, I do.
Careful that we
yeah, the reason why I listened, or I took it was that usually in the past when I've done events, she's the person who brings half of the people that get in the room, okay, because she's a star and that's what she likes to do, shine the light on whoever she does the event with.
That's fine. Then say to her, we're setting up an event for you separately on this date, but I'm going to work on this one and I'm going to invite some clients ahead. So who else can we connect with, right? That we can bring some different blood into your interest as well, that you're not just depending on one client or one referral. Because guys, I just want to put this message out there, Clara. If you've got one person referring you and you just depend on that, that's 100% of your business. If you've got one sales lead, it's 100% of your business. If you've got 5 referrals, it's 1/5 of your business. If you've got 10 referrals, it's 1/10 of your business, right? Do you see the framework here?
Okay.
We need to have a big pipeline. That's what we want to create. So yes, she's one of the partners that you're working with, but are there others? Is there somebody else we can activate? Is there some leads from somewhere else? What are those thinking? So let's go into that space.
Okay. My mechanic likes to sort of look at data and try to improve process. Okay.
Yes.
So in the past 2 weeks, I've signed up for a number of events online.
Mm-hmm.
Just to go to the Zoom call and see how many people showed up. Okay. And I've been to a call yesterday, and it's a pretty big company. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 4 people. So I joined, I was the 5th person. So if you take out the host, and I thought, oh my God, right. And these people run events once a month. So I thought, okay.
That's the thing, right? It's about consistency, and it's about showing up, right? And it's about, if you want to set something up, that every month you're setting up a workshop, 100% out of 20 people, if you want 20 people to show up, right? I'm certain if you were to write a list of 100 people, you wouldn't have to invite all 100. You could know one person that could invite 3 people or 2 people. Do you see? Think out of the box to improve your process, have consistency in it, that people know. Yes, it's summer in Europe. 100% people are having a holiday, but there are people who still want to drive their businesses. All of you have attended this call. You're sitting here doing this now. There's plenty of others who are also doing it. So I think let's think differently, right? Let's make a list of new blood. Go and see Carlos and say, Carlos, I want to do the event here. Can you bring some people? Can you advertise? What about that, right? I'm throwing the thoughts at you because I think careful your associations don't bring you down, guys. It's easy. It's easy to say something's not going to work, right? Super. Okay, it's easy. It's not going to work. I'm so depressed. It's not going to work. No. Oh, no. That's not the way this world works, right? You set your intention, you work towards it, you go. Everybody wants to do something. And it's important, right? Because if you remember your frequency, when you're high, everybody who's low wants to attract to the high frequency, right? That's what happens. So Clara, keep your frequency high. Whatever you need to do, don't let somebody put you down. It might not work and you might only get 10 people coming. Who cares? At least you've shown up and done something. That's a success. See what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So from the data point of view, what I want you guys to do, we'll still do a little bit more training on data, but I want you to just go back and think about what I said today. I think you guys have got the gist of it. Everybody thumbs up that you kind of understand how you need to measure your data. Yeah. Okay. All right. Excellent. So let's take a look at the next steps. There's a couple of questions in here. Tips for create an offer in line with your flow. You want to add extras that out of your flow. Of course you do. George is typical items to add to one-on-one coach that makes more powerful. Exactly. We'll talk about that. Heidi, quickly building a website, implementing training, taking action. I think I'll show you that quickly also. Justin, you've got 3 client avatars attracted to, okay, which is the best one to focus on. Previous business was all referral, 100%. Okay, answer simply leaning more into what comes naturally to me rather than targeting and cold outreach. Okay, we'll cover that a bit in more detail, asking for referrals. I think we've sort of spoken about some of those concepts. Look at the landing page and give pointers for change. Both landing pages, Laura, or just one? Or is it the same page? Oh, it's just the same page in twice. Okay, great.
The different ones, Michelle. One's a thank you for joining us, and one's a sales pitch.
Okay, so the ones that you've posted in, okay, in here.
Let me check them. I copied them from the first one.
Yeah, it looks exactly the same. So just drop it to Rosaline or myself. It's either on WhatsApp, that's fine. And then I can open it. Ober King, where's best to build your community, Facebook, website, that kind of stuff. Genius U platform advantages, disadvantages. Trouble deciding if I can build a community with my service. So I'm not quite sure there. Maybe you can give me some more details just now when I get to you. client bases, build plans, presents avatar that I need to clarify. What should I be focusing on? Okay, Tracy and Tracy Lee. Percentage expected revenue is standard amount to budget on advertising. Yes, we'll come to that. And Yulia, avatar, there's several problems associated in my program. Okay, looks too complex. I'm not sure that's a question, so we'll come to that. All right, so I've scrolled through all of your questions and we're going to go through a couple of those things. Those of you that haven't put questions in, I'm guessing that you don't have any, or that you're just going to learn today and work through that. If there are questions you still want, please put them in. There's still some time and we'll get through that. Okay, so let's start on the things that I wanted to cover today, because I want to look at your 5 Ps in each one of you. So in each one of you, for each one of you. Okay, so when we take a look at our 5 Ps. All right, let me just open something here for you guys. Right. Very firstly, who in this group feels confident of who your customer is? Who are you serving? Okay, Jean-Francois, 100% confident. Laura, I'm guessing you're confident because you already did a page. Winston, is that a 2 or a question? Or what does that mean? That you are confident? You're confident. Okay, good. Justin, so Heidi's not. Who's not? Let's ask who's not confident on who their customer is. Okay, we've got Clara, Yulia, Heidi, Emma, not really. And Stuart, not really. And Barbara, not really. Okay, so when we go to this part, if we take a look at the first things is, who do I want to be serving, right? So, Barbara, who do you want to be working with? Who's your ideal customer you want to be working with?
Okay, so I think for me, I'm not sure whether I should be directing my avatar to individual customers or to corporate, because I think I resonate more with corporate buyers, like your HR directors or training people. So I'm not sure who to be directing my avatar to.
Okay, I think you just answered your question. Just saying, right? You said you felt more confident with corporate in your words, right? So this is exactly the challenge is, guys, we get into the space where there's too many shiny objects. I'm not saying you don't have to work with the other customers in the next quarter, but just choose one avatar for this quarter. Who do you resonate with? Okay, it's corporate customers, it's HR managers. This is the companies they work with. This makes it super simple, right, Barbara? You know the companies, you know the revenue size of the companies, yeah?
Yeah.
So now your avatar becomes, oh, great, I know what I'm looking for. And everybody on this call should know what you're looking for, yeah? Make sense?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So who else has got 2 avatars that we want to play with? Because Justin, you've got 2.
Yeah,
Julia, you've got 2.
3.
3. All right.
And yeah, so and who they are, so are folks that are corporate, that have a really great job in corporate, but they're looking to create and kind of go their own way and start a business.
Yeah.
Second avatar is someone that has a business, but isn't really fulfilled, and what they want to do is kind of change their business and to be in flow. And the third one is coaches. And it's interesting because like the last 6 or 7 clients that have signed up are coaches.
Okay,
so
let me ask you this question, right? I'm not saying you don't want to work with all 3 of them, but right now, how many people are in your business? How many people is in your team?
Just myself, and I have, kind of like a VA too.
Okay, so it's basically you, and you, right?
Yeah.
And your VA, yes? You cannot deal effectively with 3 avatars and actually do something properly. So which one of the 3 do you resonate with right now? Just for July, August, September. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for the rest of your life. I'm just asking for these 3 months. Which one gives you a higher, yes, I want to work with those? And don't overthink it. First gut feel.
I mean, I kind of keep going back to coaches.
Right? Then do a
It's
promo
like-
plan around your coaches.
Yeah, because
You'll
like
know soon enough if it doesn't work, right? That's what I'm going to say to you. You'll know soon enough within another 2 weeks whether this avatar is going to work or not.
Okay. Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that you can't in 4 weeks tell me, Michelle, listen, I've switched my avatar. I don't like working with this one. I'm going to find another one. Okay. It's not set in stone, but I'd like you to start with one and make a choice today. Just one. Anybody in this call who's got more than 1,000 clients? Right. So please, can we just choose one avatar? Just one. Just one. Not 400, just one. Right. If I am a city host like Julia, right? Jara, I'll come to you now. Jaroslava, I'll come to you now. So Clara, Julia, Oberking, right? You have all these clients you want to be serving, yes? The catch in this space is that as a city host or a city leader, right, what you're doing is you're building out a tribe of people. In the tribe of people, it's basically all entrepreneurs between the ages of 25 and 500, I don't know, whatever the number is, right? And the point is in that, you are going to serve one product that's going to fit to you. And for example, Genius U is going to help the other ones. So Julia, in your space, if we are building a plan, right, we're building a plan to drive community. So how do we chat to people like Emma, who wants to come and get associations, get connections, get that kind of stuff? There's more Emmas around. Now, Emma might want to work with you, for example, but she might not. She might just want to contribute in the city space, right? So what we're doing is there's definitely 2 promo plans running, but it's actually not really 2. You can merge it into one, where your avatar is slightly bigger for the group to attract entrepreneurs, right? And move it into a pathway where you're looking for entrepreneurs that are either startup or scale up. And then wherever you fit into that space where you want to be coaching is potentially in that startup space. You're not quite at the scale up coaching, I don't think, but potentially. So these clients at the scale up space can be going into Crystal Circle or Wealth Dynamics Masters or something else. Do you see what I mean? You can use Genius U leverage in that space for serving those customers with other things. Does it make a bit more sense?
Yeah, it does. I was just thinking from a perspective. So if my current customer avatar, because like I was thinking like a broader, because my niche is helping with the time problem or flow problem, right? Now I'm focusing on a group of entrepreneurs that are looking to build their personal wealth, because what I noticed is that a lot of entrepreneurs who just created new job and then they're just like busy building business. So this is where all the investor pathway comes in, right? Like all the events and things that are happening, right? So and with that, and I think maybe because of that, I just got lost in the ways describing it. I was just like, it's the person that have so many problems and I can help with this, and then Genius helps with that, but like how do I
if you just go back, right?
Yeah.
You take a breath and you go back to your avatar was entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
We want to get into flow, right?
Yes.
That's one avatar. What is their biggest problem? They're out of flow kind of vibe. Do you see? Don't make it so complicated. Try to keep it simple, because product is a side effect of what you're actually doing to add value and serve the customer. You see what I mean? So you can run an event where you're teaching everybody to get into flow. At the end of the event, I want to have 10 people actually getting on a call with me to do something. And whether they're buying a debrief session or they're buying a coaching session or they're buying a product, it doesn't matter what they're purchasing. Do you see what I mean? You're still helping, you're doing something here which covers everybody. You're moving to this space where you're isolating who actually wants to do something. And then over here, you're deciding which is the right fit for them. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So go back. I know, guys, this is the way sometimes we get too complicated, right? We try to think too many things that are getting all over the place, right? Jaroslava, hi. You muted, my love.
Yeah. Hi. Hello.
Good to see you. We missed you last week.
Yeah, I know the connection was just impossible. It was terrible.
It's okay.
I have two avatars. One because I work with seniors, teaching them English as a tool to create and build a community, and to improve their cognitive skills, brain training, and all this stuff. Just in brief few sentences. That's my business. And I have two avatars. One is the retired person, already retired person, and another one is preparing for the retirement. That's a new one, which I'm still not in harmony, I must say. And while you were talking, I probably found my way. I sorted it out that I resonate with the retired people. I know them. It's what I do. I've been doing for the last 8 years. And I need to scale now. I don't know in numbers. I'm like Tracy, right?
It's okay. Don't worry.
Absolutely, I understand.
No worries.
But my gut feel is that I need to scale to spread the service more, to help more people. And I can do it better with my old avatar. And next quarter or next quarter, I can try the new one.
Exactly. I think it's just for this quarter. What is the plan that we actually want to do? So if you say scale, I want to bring another 50 retired people on, or I want to bring 20, whatever that number is, right? But just work for the next 3 months, guys, with one avatar. Please don't get yourselves into a loop, because you're just going to get more complicated. It's going to get harder and harder, because you can't provide something for, you're a small business, you know? Yeah. Good job. Clara, you have another question? Can we keep it tight?
Okay. So I said that wasn't clear because I want corporate, because I want teams.
Yes.
But I know that I still don't have the experience under my belt to go and take the leap. So what I was thinking was to go on entrepreneurs, but not explore the part of the entrepreneurs that is, you won't serve me when I go to corporate, you know, the pain points, and just go for the other pain points that I can then scale up to corporate. I don't know if this makes sense.
Yes.
But,
so basically it's an entrepreneur who is running a small to medium-sized business. That's where you can start, right? Or you can go higher, but an entrepreneur that will come to a workshop and find out how to get themselves and them into flow, right? They'll come and sit there for 4 hours, and then these guys will give you leads to go into the corporate space. So it's just a stepping stone. You have to start somewhere, but this is the type of avatar. So clean that avatar out, because that means that you can go to a whole bunch of entrepreneurs that are SMEs that can do that. Yeah, SME, I mean small to medium size. Make sense? Happy. Amazing. All right. So did that clarify everyone's questions on who your customer is? Is everybody okay-ish? Emma, I know that you've got some questions still, obviously, but on your customer, you're okay now, who you want to be working with?
I think so. I think that that makes it would be easier for me to go more after corporate for this first quarter to get money in quickly, rather I'm getting hung up on, but that's not what I want to do in the long term. But there hits a point where you just need money. Then I only have one other question around avatar. It can be like, it's very easy to go down the demographics route about who it is. Can a big part of how you define it be about that person's outlook on life and beliefs and sort of more that side of things? So it can be based on their passions and values.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So build that out. Absolutely. Stuart, you have a question?
Oh.
I also missed you last week. Glad you're here.
Thank you. Well, as the city leader for London, which I know you did intros last time, but that was really helpful to get that side door coaching with Julia, because yeah, it's entrepreneurs. So I'll understand later how I find them and how I put the workshops on and everything else. So I have a separate avatar for myself, but I'm going to focus on the city leader for GAP. And, you know, I've already done some work on that, because basically I want to work with what I call waterpreneurs, change makers and influencers in the world of water that are looking to make a difference to the planet through the waters on our planet. So that's the
But Stuart,
real one.
I think it's going to merge into one. So if you go and you do setting up for entrepreneurs who have a higher purpose that want to do stuff, there's a group in there for water. What we want to be doing is we want to find other people with the other passions that can serve them through within your team, right? So hypothetically, let's say Clara was in London, right? And she has got a passion for education. Do you see what I mean? She can take that education, or the clients that are focused on that part. You'll still, out of the entrepreneur group, you'll still get. You can say, to tie it in better, that when you're doing an event, proceeds go to life and water, whatever. Do you see? Then it links it better. Yeah.
Okay.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
fabulous. Yeah, thank you.
And then you've got the big avatar. You can set up an event and you're serving people and you're helping people. And you're helping a bigger community of people to actually come to that space, which means that they can then go, oh, amazing, I learned something great here today.
Brilliant.
And then those people that go, yeah.
And that still sits with the city leader and what you would like us to be doing in that capacity. Okay,
because
cool.
not everybody is going to have the passion for water, but there's going to be others. So we've got to build the others out. So if somebody is not coming and working with you, they're going to be doing something else. What are they doing? What can we serve them with? There's plenty of other stuff.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Okay, fabulous. Are we good on who our customers are? Happy? Sweet. All right, so time does run when you're having fun, apparently. So I just want to push this up. Here's your example of your 5 Ps, right? Because I do want to cover some of the stuff that I've got. I want to share some other things with you shortly. But this is really where you've got your problem, your promise, your product, your proof, your price. Some people put purpose into the bottom, but these are the things that you want to work out. So as you're talking about your customer, what is their biggest ass problem that's keeping them awake at night, right? Don't get too complicated. Generally, it's if you're working with businesses, they're looking for more customers, right? If you're working aspirationally, right? They've got a problem, they want to do stuff, they want to grow things, they want to make a bigger impact, they want to leave a legacy, right? Those are aspirational type of things. In your space, Jaroslava, it's really around, you know, I'm retiring and I don't want to lose my brain capacity, and I want to stay focused, and I don't want to be old, right? I want to stay young in my outlook, right? Do you see, guys, each one of you have got the customer's got slightly different problems, right? George, are you clear on your customer problem?
I believe I will get clearer.
Okay, throw it at me because you've got an age range there. What do you think their biggest problem is?
They are victims of their own success. They've achieved objectively, successful careers, but they don't feel like they've got enough of their own self-expression in their lives, and so there's a level of meaninglessness to their success, and now they're wanting to transition their lives and work into their life's work rather than having sort of got all straight A's so far in their lives.
Okay, so let's rephrase. Yeah. Basically, you're super successful. You've got everything that you possibly thought you wanted, but you've realized something is missing. Yeah. Legacy, making an impact, living something that actually makes a difference, right? Do you see? Those are the type of things you're looking for. Those are the, I'm an executive, right? I'm working these freaking hours. I'm at the top of my game. Now what? There's got to be more to this life. Do you see where I'm going?
Yeah.
I want you to tweak that a little bit. I'm also wondering if it's worthwhile tweaking your age gap because you've got quite a big bracket. And remember, what was your bracket that you chose?
30 to 50.
I just want to say this. Somebody who's 30 thinks completely different to somebody who's 50. So my recommendation would be to say, if we're going to go 30, let's go 30 to 42, because there's a life change at like 42, or go 42 to 53 or something like that, you see? So you actually focus and you clean out your avatar a bit more, because then it's more targeted and focused into that space. Make sense?
Yeah,
okay.
Thanks.
So guys, when you're thinking of your problem, word it in a way that if you were to see an ad, that it would inspire you to want to do something. So in your case, George, it's definitely legacy, passions, purpose. What are you doing? Impact, those words, right? I'm super successful. It's not about cash. I don't need more cash. I actually want to do something better with my life. Potentially. Worded in slightly different format. Think about that part, yeah? And tweak it a little bit. Karen, on your side, your customer problem and your customer?
Yeah, I'm pretty well right. I've got one avatar.
Yeah.
And identified specifically their problem they have with accessing quality professional learning to get their accredited hours to retain their teacher registration.
Okay. So they need to do hours. That's their problem. They don't have enough hours to get their accreditation, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, getting access to the professional learning hours that they need for their specialisation within a school community.
Okay, that's easy, right? Are you a teacher who hasn't got the number of hours that you need and can't get them?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, you're comfortable and you're happy that you can target the right people for that?
Yep.
How many teachers are you targeting this quarter?
I'm targeting. Oh, how many customers?
Yeah.
I'm looking at getting 80 altogether.
Okay, that's a good target. Nice. All right. Any questions do you have around these 5 Ps for now?
No, pretty good on that. Yep.
Okay, fabulous. All right, let me see who else I haven't picked on today. Mito, I know you're comfortable with these, yes? But you have a question around here? Are you good with this?
Yes, about my avatar and the problems, yes, from our previous chats.
Okay, so you're clear, hey? You guys know where you're going. Amazing.
Yes, no problem.
Jean-Francois, you good?
I'm happy to get feedback from what I put in the PowerPoint presentation, but yes, I think I'm good.
Okay, so we'll get to feedbacks. Heidi, all these chats, where are you at? Do you think that you can define someone in a little bit of a better format now?
Well, I have, but I think it's just in contrast to what my other business is. So that was the question I think when we first spoke is, does it fit into the existing business? So I have done a spin-off of it, but I don't think it fits in there. So it might be a separate business. So it's really about the new identity, a new thing. And that's probably where also the disconnect is happening. So I can see it's working. So like I say, with this particular person who was willing to help me with the flow consultant as a subject, as a client, a prospective client. And yeah, so I think it's just that disconnect in my mind, but I think I've written it up correctly because it's almost probably talking maybe almost maybe to the things that I'm personally feeling as well, in terms of how I want to grow. So maybe that's more personal. So, you know, when I've written it, it's kind of like, I know what my pain points are, and there's probably going to be a lot more people out there that have the same pain points as well.
For sure.
So generally female-led businesses who are growing, but get to the point where, you know, it's too scary to grow because you don't know where to put the resources. And then how do you understand the team, how do you build the team to actually get you to the next step so you have that confidence. And then I think the subsequent coaching is literally a shoulder to kind of like cry on or like talk to. And that's kind of maybe the other product. So it's really the impact test and where's your business. So really putting a bit more metrics in it and systems and processes so you can measure stuff and then you don't feel like you know, scared to move to the next step. So that's, I think, what I've done. But again, I think there's a lot of things that I'm not sure what I need to do and how I need to call it. So those things that, so I'm kind of like probably at the beginning. So effectively you read, I suppose, like with the victim level of this one, whereas I'm yellow on the other one. So I think that's also the disconnect for me. So it's in an uncomfortable space. It's trying to redefine.
Okay. I think it's okay. You're all right. It's not I think you're at a place where these are the points and the concepts that go through this process, right? Doesn't need to necessarily link into the current business, but we want to make this super clear. So guys, ultimately on these 5 Ps, Rosaline, because next week Donna is coming in, you guys will each be presenting your 5 Ps to Donna. That's what next week is going to be about. Laura, I'll drop you feedback privately then, right? I'll just drop you a voice note on or do you want to Loom or something like that? Is that fine? Okay, cool. So next week, each one of you will be preparing. So all of these techniques that I'm giving you, you're going to put together into your 5 Ps. And you're going to present that. This is my customer. This is their problem. Not waffled all in one slide, right? Rosaline, maybe you wanted to take this page out of the thingy-mabobby that you shared with me, and actually share it with the team. Yeah, so that they can put this together in a nice one-pager for Donna. Make sense? Hey, Oberking, hi.
Hi. Now, thinking quickly, I know in terms of my price, I've indicated 2 prices, and that is because my first customer, they're going to be taking the wealth dynamic test, and I'm going to be looking at upselling them to do the debrief. So how do I put it? Should I just focus on wealth dynamics for now? Please guide me.
So I think, Oberking, it takes where you're going is we want to be, I don't know what's going on with my screen suddenly, it's gone missing. Sorry, give me 1 second. Ultimately, we want to be linking it in, and you've got a $200,000 target. Yes?
Yep.
If I sell at my $200,000 target, right? So just a bit of perspective, $200,000 divided by, even if you're selling it at 47 bucks, you need to sell close to 4,200 tokens to make that work.
Yeah.
Have you got a team and the support to make that work? Is that a viable thing? Or is there a way that the offering you want to be doing is something that's going to generate money and the tokens is going to be a side thing? This is my question to you.
Okay, so my initial thinking is that with the tokens, I'll use that to build a community. In terms of the debrief, my thinking is we will only get 10% of the 4,200. And even the 10%, I've begun to connect with a number of colleagues on GeniusU who will be assisting me to do the debrief.
Mm-hmm.
So for the focus for the next 3 months is really the tokens. And then from there, yes, I see a handful of people going for the debrief.
Okay. So there's 2 components here, right? Sorry, I don't know what has happened with my computer, but I can't seem to open my Zoom here. Sorry, guys, I don't know what's going on with my screen. I'm trying to share and my Zoom has decided to be weird and disappear. The menu bar has decided to not be here. Hold on. Okay. So, twofold, Oberking. Let me share my screen when I find it. Now all my screens are gone. How is this humanly possible? Either the computer's breaking. Somehow I can't minimize Zoom. Okay, let me close that. Sorry, guys. Let me close that. Okay, let's go back over here. Apologies, Oberking. I wanted to share my screen. That's why. Right. There's 2 components, right? This is a question that Heidi asked me also. The very first thing, and all of you guys should do this, you shouldn't have a separate page, right? You should have this straight wealth dynamics page with a / with your details behind it, right? So for example, I think I've got Jessica Fernley has got one here. Let me just see what she's come up with. I can't remember what hers page is. Anyway, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. But the point is you will have a page at the back here, which is something like this. Yes, she has leaders cut, right? So this is an example. It's our page, right? As Flow Consultants, we basically can put your logo onto it like this. This can hyperlink into your thing. So Heidi, we don't have to create a separate website right now. You don't have enough clients to create a separate website. Yes, eventually, but you right now to go those women leaders, how many women leaders do you want to serve this quarter? Probably 1 or 2, right? So you don't need a website for 1 or 2 customers. But if you want to be promoting something like this, right? Oberking, same for you. You have the page like this, which drives the customers through, right? This is an option for each one of you on the call. You can have this, right? Which means people can take it. It's no problem. They can do it. You can embed this into your website, right? Okay. That's step number 1. Step number 2, this is an example of Jessica Fernley, right? You can see here, she's certified wealth consultant here. Now what she does specifically, you can see there's a menu bar at the top here for wealth dynamics, which you can click through, but she gives them. So Oberking, she actually hands her customers a token every single month to say thank you. Who are they going to refer it to? So she uses it in that format. So Tracy, this is something you could also use, right? Where to gain your followers and gain your tribe, you guys can all do it. George, I've got something that I'll give you for free, right? That the customer can use something that drives them into an experience of something else. Personally, what I did with corporates is I would give them one free one to hook them, and then I would include it in a little workshop, for example. Then they would come back to me and they say, Michelle, I want to do it for my team. Okay, how many team members do you have? Okay, I have 10. All right, I'm going to charge you for 6 and I'm going to give you 4. Do you see how you can work this if you're working with bigger groups? But what she does is she basically take it, discover what it is. Here's the test. Here's her link. Yeah. And this is what's part of her pathway. So Oberking, in your case, what I'm looking to have happen is I'm looking to see what the pathway is. Because at the moment you're discussing concepts in your pathway, which are all across, but there's no flow that goes from one step to the next. So yes, we want to build a tribe. What do we need to do? We can activate Genius U, but they've already done a token, right? So then we should activate something that they can come to some kind of an event where they can have a conversation with you, right? And they can, everybody in South Africa and Joburg who's done a wealth dynamics test can come to this event so that they can find out what they can do further. Now you've got something happening. You see where I'm going?
Yeah. Okay, no, that's good. Now that thing, I know me and Rosaline, we spoke with Duncan about this. How do we get that / thing on the website? Or do we discuss with Rosaline on the side?
I'll speak to Duncan later. That's no problem. Yeah, I'll talk to him. I'll get that done for you. Okay, Rosaline, just drop me a message, please. But this is what I'm looking for from your side right now. I know this is a little bit ahead for some of you guys, but do you see this? Tracy, this is also something that you can work off. If somebody's going and doing something for free, then they're going to do a little workshop, then they're going to do something, then they're going to do something. What is the experience, Oberking? What's the pathway? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I see. Do you want me to share my intended pathway?
Not on this call. I want to try and give you guys the offer document today, if that's okay. Can we do that when we catch up in 2 weeks? Okay, great. All right, so let's go back and let's take a look at creating your offer. So Rosaline, I'm going to drop you a copy so that everybody can make a copy. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, my soul. Something is very weird on my computer. Sorry, guys. I have to keep putting stuff happening. I'm not winning today, Rosaline. I'm dropping this to you now there. Then I'm going to go back to the screen. Let me share my screen. It's not open. Why is it not open? Guys, advanced. Zoom has decided, did you guys notice that Zoom has done a whole new freaking changing thing? And I actually can't find what I'm bloody looking for. Can you handle it? Forkadak, sorry. This is very annoying to me. Extremely annoying. Okay, hold on. All right. So Rosaline, if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to ask you. Oh, now it's working. Sorry, guys. I don't know what Zoom is so annoying. Sorry. Okay. This is a document. Rosaline will drop it to you. You guys basically make yourselves a copy, right? So it says, step 1, make a copy. Yeah. Step 2, once you've gone through, post it in our group in Genius U so that I can give you guys a little submission on that or give you a little bit of feedback. Your goal is to show you the basics so you can create the offers as we're going through it. So you guys all know that you have to do your presentation of your 5 Ps for next week, right? If you've got questions, drop it in there, ping me so that I can answer you before next week so you're prepared. But this is what you're going to be working on for the next time when I come and see you. I want to see what your offers are. Okay, so you've got 2 weeks. So even if you're not 100% clear, here's a nice book. It's a recommendation. Take a look. It might be worthwhile for some of you. So Emma, here's some extra learning, right? And then the first thing. Yes, great. So we have step 1, niche selection, right? So one person, one problem. This is what we've been talking about today. Yeah, one person, one problem. Define who that person is, define what their problem is, what their pain point is, right? We want to grow. We want to have that they're easy to find. And we do want to make sure. Now, Guys, those of you that's city leaders, you're still looking for clients who've got some money, but you're also adding value to people who don't have money. So careful that you're not only thinking cash, because Oberking, you know this is not true in the market, right? So this is potentially on each one of your avatars, which is differently. Now here, this works very simply. What is your niche? So for example, Tracy, what is your niche?
It's people, culture, and leadership.
Okay.
Oh, for this offer, is that you saying, or
Yes.
is that in general?
In general, it's people, culture, leadership, right? Which is amazing.
Yeah.
But this particular one, which one are we focusing on for this quarter? Is it encompassing them?
Leadership.
Let's call
It'll
it
be
leadership.
focused on leadership. Yeah.
Right. So my niche is leadership with a focus on culture, etc. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's just a wording of it slightly differently. So this applies to all of you guys on how you're wording your niche, what you're looking for, because this helps when you're putting your offer together. Who's your ideal customer, right? Now, this is what you guys have gone through with you. You know, we're talking today. So George, we've said, let's push it down. What's their profession? Where do we find them? Where are they? Where are they hanging out? This comes to one of the other questions. I can't remember who asked it, but where does your customer actually hang out? On which platform? Do you even know? Drop it in the chat if you know your customer that you've currently, your avatar's chosen. Do you know where they're hanging out? On which platforms? LinkedIn, Twitter. Yeah? Sorry, Rosaline. Let me just do that. Okay, Facebook, email, LinkedIn, long tongue. We got new words here too. Amazeballs. All right. I want to show you something quickly. Where is it? Suraj is probably going to cover this in a bit more detail. Now, this is from January, right? Just for interest's sake. Take a look at your social platforms and the age groups you're working on, right? Now, this is more for where, you know, it'll give you a good idea. But for example, do you see where they are? The biggest ones here for WhatsApp is your bigger age groups. So this is where Yaroslava, this is where you're at. We've talked about this already, right? Entrepreneurs now, Yulia, Clara, those kind of things, you're probably looking at this age bracket, yes, for your entrepreneurs. So again, WhatsApp is your biggest thing in males and females. Do you see this? So try not to use too many platforms, guys. This is the point, right? The point is which platform I'm choosing my avatar, where are they hanging out? Okay. Instagram is definitely here in the young group, young female users, young male users. You can see that. Facebook is still it for some people, right? Especially this age group over here, and especially in males, this age group over here. You can take a look and it goes down, but this is an interesting component of where you're working with, right? So if let's say the third one is Facebook and the fourth one is WeChat, WeChat is Chinese, so you guys probably won't have it, but TikTok is here, Twitter is here. So who said Twitter? Someone said Twitter. Who said Twitter? Karen, you said Twitter.
Yes.
Sure.
Well, Twitter and Facebook is where they'd be.
Okay, so do you see why I'm asking? Because you want to be Twitter, yes, for some people, but some of the clients that you're potentially focusing on, they might not only be on Twitter, they might be using Twitter, because remember, that also doesn't include the latest thing which Instagram, which Meta launched, right? Which is your threads, this particular thing. So I want you to be super clear where your client is hanging out, yeah? So who's my customer, what is important to them, and where are they hanging out, yeah? So now you can see this. The situation means, for example, my situation is I need more money, right? It's causing me pain, or the time is the pain, or money is the pain, or whatever it is. So whatever the situation is, plus the emotional niche, this is what we want to try and bring together in this space. So everybody okay on how you go about your niche and who you're working with and how your customer is? This can go into your slides. This is just an extra document, which is kind of a little bit easier sometimes to play with than in slides. Does this make sense? To kind of help you structure it? Is everyone okay with it? George, you're frowning a lot today. Are you okay? Lip reading's not happening. Yes.
Thanks. I'm okay. I'm just trying to get into the detail here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll put
Thank
you
you
over
too.
there so I can.
You hid me so that I don't have to ask you questions, or you're going to cover your face so I don't see the front. Right. The next thing is your dream weaving, right? So the point is with whoever you're working with, what is their dream scenario by working with you in 6 to 12 months time, right? So if I work with you, I generate 30K per month in recurring revenue, you have a simple business to run, you have the freedom to do what you want to do. This is just an example. But what is that thing? So Clara, if you're going to do the workshop, what's going to be that thing, that aspirational thing that we're getting to? What's the destination? Why would I come on this program? Why will I come to Genius U events with you guys? Well, Julia, why would I come to socials every month, right? Jean-Francois, why would I come to a Malaysian thing, right? Whatever it might be, what is the aspirational thing that's going to be helping you? So here, Mito, also, you want to drive community, but what's the aspiration if they come into your tribe? Why would I come into your tribe? Why do I want to be there for 6, 12, 8 months? If I come and do stuff with you, what is going to make it cool for me? What's going to make it amazing that I'm going to go, like, oh my God, I want to come back. Okay. So I want to put a little bit of thought behind those processes, please. Yeah. George, LinkedIn isn't featured there, right? Because remember, statistically, LinkedIn is only a smaller percentage of the total customers on social media, right? It's not necessarily, you must remember, that's just a wide demographic. Yes, my customers are also on LinkedIn, and I don't use that table because I only focus on LinkedIn. If LinkedIn is where they hang out, that's where they hang out. No problem, right? How do you use WhatsApp for marketing? Great question, Stuart. There's a thing called, there's actually, you guys can go and check it out. It's a group. It's an Indian group, actually. It's called Coffee Mug. Go and search for it. Coffee Mug. And maybe my English is not great, so Coffee Mug. And what they do is they connect up. Coffee Mug. They connect you up with potential clients. It's a WhatsApp group that's created. So that's how you use a WhatsApp group to create interest and people chatting. I've got a guy in Spain who uses a WhatsApp group to engage his community and talk to them and tell them what cool things are happening and add value to them in a WhatsApp group. So Stuart, this is definitely maybe not your avatar, but potentially if you're going for a younger crowd, this is where it is, right? Do you see what I mean, guys? You have to really know your avatar. You have to know where they're hanging out. I personally don't throw WhatsApp at me and do not add me to a group, right? Sorry, I was looking at what that was called because I couldn't remember, but I hate it. I don't particularly like WhatsApp, but you guys, I'm maybe not your customer. Do you see? So I want you to know your customer really, really well. Now, here, when we go to this part, we are going to run a few moments late. Yes, 5 minutes. Give me 5 extra mo's. Is that okay? Yes, no, maybe. Someone yell at me. Rosaline, is it okay? I'm just telling my next meeting I'm going to be a bit late.
Yes, perfect.
Thanks, someone. Okay, Min's late. Okay, right. This one is your problems. You don't have to do all the pillars. This is just an example for you because there's always a face problem and then there's subsequent problems to it, right? So the first problem, for example, I'm a coach. What am I looking for? I'm looking for more customers and more money, right? That's my very first problem. More cash, more customers. What's the problems after those ones have been solved, right? So I want you to see if your customers have got further problems that you can dig deep, because some of them are only one base, like with coaches. Justin, if you're going to work with coaches, they're just going to have one problem. They want more customers, they want more cash, generally, right? They may have other ones that they want to create an impact and things like that. So don't go too freaked out. I know there's a couple of levels in here, but if your customers, so for example, those of you that are working city leaders, those are different problems. You've got a couple of different things that are coming through. So Karen, you've got one main problem here, but potentially you could have an aspirational problem which links into that, right? That you could tap into a different market, you know, so that they want to leave a bigger legacy for children, or they want to create a bigger, do you see where I'm going with this? What is your first problem? What's the second problem? Yeah, George, first problem, second problem. What are we solving for them? The first thing is that we're going to be doing, okay, what's going to happen? Your biggest thing is that you're successful, but you don't know where to go, right? You don't know what your thing is. What's your next problem? Okay, I don't know how to leave a legacy. The next, I don't even know how to do an impact, for example. So I want you to really think about how you nudge this down. If you don't have more than 2, it's okay, guys. Don't freak out about it. Just put this information down so it gets you knowing your avatar a little bit more. Step 4 is your solutions, right? So here, for example, I've got no way to consistently get high clients to solve into my sales calls. So the ways to solve it is you can do a funnel, you can do a plug and play, you can do it for you can do lead magnet calls, you can do Q&As. There's so many things. Use ChatGPT, right? And come up with a solution. For sure, ChatGPT can help you with the offer. If you tell ChatGPT, I just want to share something here. This is workshop slides. There's a couple of prompts in here. I'll share it with Rosaline and she'll share it in the group, right? But these prompts, right, in here, there's a whole bunch of prompts for your business. So you can see here, I've got some prompts in here for improving your products and services. There's a couple in here, your pricing. So these are things that you can ask ChatGPT, but the first thing you have to actually do is you have to tell them what your business is, and then it can actually work. So you guys can use this to see if you can clean out your offer a little bit. It might be helpful. And then here, so it's really what are the problems, and then your ways to solve them. What am I going to do to solve those problems for my customer? Now this here, high value, low cost, high value, high cost. What do I mean, right? High value is I get on a call with 20 people every week. It's 1 hour of my time, right? It doesn't cost me a lot. High value, high cost means I'm getting on an hour's call with one client every single day. Do you see the difference? So what you want to be doing is you want to be seeing what's left after you go through that. What is actually important and how do I want to structure my offer to do that? Because my offer, when I'm going to be doing something, is if I take a look at it, here's my dream outcome, my achievement, here's the value, time delay, efforts, value. What do we want to maximize? This. We want to get achievement out of what they do, and you want to have less that you guys are doing something great that you're also not strapping yourself so much. Yes, you want to scale, which means you're going to have to get team in. But right now, what can you actually do to deliver, get groups in, and not stretch yourself to a point where you're going, oh my God, Michelle, I don't want to do this anymore. It's too much. Okay. So I want you to go through that. Don't worry about this part. We'll cover that in the lowest part next time. But the beginning parts are definitely important for you wanting to actually bed down that deep ass problem and what solution do you want to be offering them. Now, the thing in here where you guys are asking, what should I be putting in my office, things like that. Offers don't need to be complicated, right? Offers don't need to be hard or complicated or anything like that. They can actually be pretty simple, right? So what's going to happen is you're going to get on a call with me. You're going to get an onboarding call. You're going to get a strategy call. Then you're going to join 12 weeks. You're going to potentially get a Wealth Dynamics token or a free assessment of something that can work into your program. And then you're going to get access to all my library and all my content. Don't get too technical. Genius U gives too many things in our offers. It gets too much. It gets too much. Less is sometimes more. Did everybody hear what I just said? Less is more. What do you want to encourage? Do you want to get value? So by coming every month, so for example, you city leaders like Clara on your side, it's come, here's a package. You can buy 5 tickets for the next socials for the next 5 months. Pay $500 or booking, for example. Pay $500 now because the tickets at the door are $120 each. Perceived value over time. If you buy it in this package, you get this and do this. So George, don't get too hung up on your value. Just, like what you're going to give them. We'll work through that in 2 weeks. But I want you to just make sure that you've got your right customer and who you're targeting and that you know exactly where you're going with that. When we are talking about expected revenue, Tracy, the point is that ultimately when you're working on stuff, you want to be making sure that if you're working a framework, I'll give you the example, I'll drop it in for Rosaline to share with you, that if you spend $1, you're getting 1 customer. and you're making, at the end of the day, that one customer is going to make you at least what your average revenue is, which Justin, you had $4,000 or whatever, right? You want to make sure that for every lead, your cost of your lead is under $1, and that you can generate leads to that space. But we'll go through that in a bit more detail a little bit later in one of the different sessions. But that gives you a base answer to what you just requested. Does it make sense? Happy? I think you asked me that. I'm not sure. I did see that. You did ask that, right, Tracy? Yes. Or maybe it was Tracy Lee that asked it.
It was Tracy Lee, and she's my steel energy, and she couldn't come tonight.
That's okay. It's no problem.
And I saw the question and went, oh, okay. But she will listen to it tomorrow.
Okay, so then she can give us some feedback on that when she comes back.
Yeah.
But I think that's the biggest component today, is really covering those things. Let me just check here. So, Mito, I have a last thing while I'm answering Mito's question. Struggling to build a community with my offering. What exactly do you mean by that? And while I'm doing that, guys, I want you to drop in the chat what your biggest takeaway from today was. Mito. I can't hear you, and I can't see your mouth moving. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Okay.
Is that okay? Okay,
yes.
Sorry. So my product is kind of a one-time thing. It's a recruitment service. So we kind of fulfill our customers' desire, and then maybe it will hire us again. But I'm not sure how I kind of pull our previous clients together and create a community. That was our question this last week was what kind of community can we create? Because our product is just a kind of one-time thing. Yeah.
I don't know if it is only a one-time thing, right? That's what the first thing that I'm going to say is I think recruitment or bringing people into teams is definitely, there's always a change in it. So I think one thing that you could do is you could create a community of HR managers, for example, so that you have a database that, let's say, Barbara would pay to come and be linked to those people. Do you see how you can create? So you can create something where potentially there's a forum for these people that you've signed up, that there's a chat, that there's questions and answers, that they can share knowledge. It's a closed group of community, right? What is community? It's where people want to share stuff. They want to learn from each other. So I don't know, in the space of recruitment, there's a lot to be learned, right? How do you recruit and having a better job description? How do you recruit with your right profile? How do you have all of these things? So potentially it's a membership fee where they can get access to something once you've helped them with a service that they pay $50 a month to be part of a tribe where they get extra tips and things like that coming through monthly. Or you do a speaking thing where a top HR manager is coming in, or people who are looking for these type of clients have to pay a membership to be connected. Do you see where I'm going with this? It might not be what you want to do. That's the question. Yeah?
Sorry, our whole plan is kind of communicating with CEOs, directly to CEOs, but then our community is HR departments. It kind of doesn't make sense because our problem in the past, our company's problem in the past is that when we talk to HR departments, they kind of feel threatened by our service and they shut us down. When we've realized that we need to talk directly to CEOs in order to get our service across. So
potentially it's a CEO channel that you're looking for. You're looking for not an HR channel. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're potentially looking to build a tribe of CEOs instead of a tribe of HR, but you could consider that one of the side effects is to have an HR community where the trust is built up because they've got a small membership where they can learn tips and techniques and stuff like that. And then when they need something, you've got a lead base. Could be. Think about it out the box a little bit.
Okay. Thank you.
Because I think there's a lot of, like on LinkedIn, there's a lot of CEO groups, and potentially you could create a CEO group that's specifically targeting around recruitment challenges, right?
Okay. We'll give it a try. Thank you.
Okay, great. Guys, I think there's been some amazing learnings in here. Good job. I think that keep it simple, of course. Focus on one quarter. Crystal clear. All right, guys. So let me know, a thumbs up. Did you enjoy today's call? Was there enough? I think it was too much, actually. I realized because we ran out of time. So I'm so sorry we went later. And I appreciate everybody. Hope you have a great week. Next week, please present to Donna. And then I will give her a briefing because I didn't like her to cover a couple of things that I missed today. Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks, Rosaline. Have a great day, guys.